Hello everyone, welcome to my new YouTube channel. I'll basically be focusing on Minecraft, and this will be part of my promotion for my Twitch streams. I did my first live stream yesterday, but there doesn't seem to be much point in doing it too regularly, given that I don't really have much of a following at this point, so I'm going to try and use YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, try and build my presence up and then do live streams more regularly. But I'll just use this as an introduction to my first proper project in Minecraft, and the idea is to turn this into essentially a dragon sky palace, I'm going to call it. And excuse me, I'll just introduce you to the basic things I've got first. My first favourite feature here, which I'll show you, is these pillars here, right? Now the idea is that you've got, I'll show you what I've got. So all of that is made of gold, right? The entire floor. Now because of the way in which spacing works, there's only one tile space between each pillar. As you walk across, if you stand back a bit, it's most effective then, it looks like lights turning on. And again, it's a very simplistic design, it's just contrasting colours, essentially. It's nothing overly fancy, but it has a really nice effect, I think, when you're just sort of scouring the palace building. As you can see, it's quite long, the building itself. It probably takes about an hour to do these all around the palace, just these little pillars here. So it does take quite a bit of time, and these took hours and hours to do. This floor here, as you can see, every single one's obviously individually laid, so it takes a lot of time. But the idea is basically to say it's all above the clouds. Is there any clouds here? Let's see. Oh yeah, you can see the clouds there. It's all above the clouds, and the idea is basically to build it up to, I'll give you an idea of how tall it's going to be. So this is here. So let's speed up. There we go. So this is the highest peak you can reach. I'm using this basically for measurement. So it's going to be as tall as where I am now. Okay, so quite tall. I'm probably about a third of the way up. And when I've done that, the plan is basically to make it like an amphitheatre. And as you sort of fly in, there's going to be a massive dragon figurines or perch on top. And the idea is basically to make it into a dungeon. Not only would you have, obviously this really cool building that I'm making, but I'm going to use the cheat codes to enclose an ender dragon that's been generated through cheats in the building, so it can't fly off. Because if you try and generate it, so I can't use cheats. I can't remember, but basically, if you use a cheat to try and generate an ender dragon in the game, it just flies off and doesn't attack you. Because I'm in creative mode as well. That's probably why. So I'll have to try and find a way to enclose them in the building, but hopefully if I do that, then it won't fly off. But also the plan is to make it like a puzzle game, and so I'm going to build buildings in here. I'm not sure what the design's going to be yet, but it's going to be quite extensive. It's going to be a proper dungeon. I'll probably build below here as well, like that. Probably going down there, and it's going to be quite a cool design. It's going to be maybe like a little storyline I'll make for it, and when it's all done, I'm going to sell it on the marketplace. Not sure how much at this point, but you can sort of see the foundations being built. So the idea of using this kind of brick pattern here, was it a gilded black stone? I wanted it to look like it was stone that had been scorched by dragonfly fire, which if you look at it, especially from a distance, it kind of looks like that, or it's as close as it's going to get in Minecraft to that. To reinforce the fact that this is a dragon palace, and obviously the gold is sort of synonymous with dragons being these, hoarders of treasure and all that kind of thing. So that's the idea. It's just trying to sort of play into that kind of mythology of dragons and the kind of palaces they'd occupy by force. And I'm gonna make a little game of it when the whole thing's built, little storylines I say, and that's the idea going forwards. Probably give the general introduction to the palace. Probably stop it there. I'm going to make an Instagram page, Facebook page, and obviously this is here to promote my Twitch account on Twitch as well, just to try and boost my viewership for my streams, so that when I'm actually streaming there's a point to it. It doesn't seem like there's much of one now. I need to promote myself first before I really get into live streaming properly. But after that, let's say I've got maybe 50 viewers odd, or 20, 30 even, then I think I'll start streaming regularly, But at the moment it's something I'm going to do fairly irregularly until I get a presence, because it doesn't seem like there's much point to it. But I'm going to build it up very regularly. Finish off here, because that's still undone, and update every day probably, just to as long as there's something to update about how the palace is progressing. Excuse me. And yeah, that's basically the idea. Right, thank you very much for joining, and keep watching, subscribe. The end product should be something quite interesting, hopefully. But yeah, it should be quite good. Okay, thank you.